Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we continue with Lesson 19, Blessed Are Your Eyes, of International Esoteric and Illuminated Bible Lessons by Swinburne Clymer. International Esoteric Bible Lessons prepared for the Sunday Schools of the Church of Divine Illumination. Matthew, 13th chapter, 1st through 23rd verses. Golden text. Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Great multitudes gathered to Jesus, so that he went into a ship, and the multitude stood on the shore. No lesson was ever given which was clearer than this lesson. In examining ourselves, we too often select our virtues and overlook the vices, or we have not developed the Christ in the place of self to the extent of being able to see our shortcomings, our evil or vices. Self is the serpent that must be lifted up into the Christ. It must be purified, or it will never be lifted up. And we cannot know him until we lift up the gross elements, desires, wishes, secret desires and longings, and transmute them into purity and goodness and truth. Then, again, even self judges self. It selects the deeds we have done which the world approves of, because self is of the world, and the world knows its own and does not judge its own with harsh judgment. When the Christ judges self and the world, all the selfishness, self-righteousness, and self-love is thrown out, cast away, and it is lifted up to a purer, better, higher state. The disciples asked Jesus in this lesson the question, "Why speakest thou unto them in parables?" Verse 11, he answered and said unto them, "Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given." Verse 12, for whosoever hath to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundantly, but whosoever hath not from him shall be taken even that he hath. This does not at all refer to the accumulation of the material things of this world. All of Jesus' lessons are devoted entirely to the spiritual perceptions and accumulation of the spiritual. Seeing they not see, and hearing they not hear, neither do they understand. Whoever has the slightest understanding of the spiritual acquires greater understanding, and the least sight of the spiritual is developed into greater sight. Material ears are dulled to the spiritual truths, and material eyes to its perception. Verse 15, for this people's hearts are waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. There are many such today, who, hearing the truth, flee from it, preferring to stay under the old laws of the letter, and not of the spirit. And many love sin so well they will not come to the truth, because they must forsake it. Verse 16, but the eyes and ears of the truth, earnest, sincere, seeking discipline, are indeed blessed. Verse 17, for verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. What was it they had seen and heard which the prophets and righteous men desired to see and hear, and did not? It was the voice of the Christ, and the works of the Christ, and the perfected Christ upon the earth, in the flesh, among men. The Lamb that was slain from the foundation of the world come to life, demonstrating and giving life, and was manifested to the world that destroyed it in the beginning. Truth is life. It cannot be totally destroyed, and this was what they desired to see and hear, but did not. Verse 19, now he explains the parable of the sower, the seeds that fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up, are the words of the kingdom which are taught and are not understood. When the word is not understood, it cannot be accepted, and therefore cannot bear any fruit. and those seeds fall away, and the evil thoughts devour them so that the soul cannot receive them. And some fell upon stony paths, which they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, because they had no root, they withered away. These stony places are those who have no root in themselves, but endureth for a while. For when tribulations or persecutions ariseth, because of the word, by and by he is offended. He is offended because he looks for personal gain through development of the spiritual. This is meant for those who would seek development of a teacher. And when some enemy says but a few words against the teacher, condemn him and forsake him. These are false to themselves and to their teacher. There is no depth in them. It is stony ground. Students want worldly success and come to the truth, as did Simon the sorcerer, who believed and was baptized with the water of mental baptism. And when he saw that the apostles had greater power, he offered them money, because he thought to make money by the same power. The power of God is not given for money, because the soul must be awakened by its own power and not for any material gains. And he desired to profit self by it. Verse 23, Then these seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them. These are the people who will not cast out greed and the desires for gain and glory. Verse 23, But he that receiveth seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. There are the truth seekers and students, those who want the truth for the good they can do with it. These are the seekers who follow their master and obey him, who do not run after strange gods, and who do not mix their instructions as does the drunkard with his drinks. These are those of whom Jesus thought when he said, Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things will be added unto you. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.